Real quickly, here you go. Tomorrow's quiz, 9 questions, 32 points, if that matters. I know it's a lot. Most of it's on parallelograms. All right, most of it. But don't forget what we did day one. We didn't do anything with parallelograms day one. We started talking about all those polygons, pentagon, hexagon, octagon, etc. And we talked about the interior and exterior angles of those polygons. We had a formula first. Let's go over this. We had a formula for you. The sum of, and I will print and I will save this and put it on Classroom when we're done writing in the notes. So you don't have to take them here, just answer my questions. Sum of the interior angles. We had a formula for that. Sum of the interior angles, and that formula was, I'm not going to give it to you tomorrow. All right, nothing's going to be given to you. Sum of the interior angles. Sum of the interiors. We had a formula for, Bailey.
180 times m minus 2.
It was, and what was n? That was the
N was
pentagon, octagon.
the number of sides.
Number of sides. Okay, so that's how I figure out. Now, again, this is how to find what they all add up to. All right, what they all add up to. And then we also went over how to find the sum of the exterior angles of any polygon. That is no formula. There is no formula for that. Why not? No formula for that one. Jared?
They're equal to 360.
They're all add up to 360. I don't care how many sides it has. Okay, so it does matter how many sides it has for interior angles. It does not matter for the exterior. And then finally with this topic, let's make sure we know what a regular polygon is. All right, because most of the polygons we deal with are regular. All right, so regular polygon, there's 3 things to know. Any of the 3. If you know a polygon is regular, what do we know about it? 1, 4. Stephanie? Not here. Thank you. All right, let's try this again. There we go. Jonathan, if it's regular.
All sides are congruent.
Okay, all sides congruent. That's great. There's some more important. Oh, relax. All sides congruent. There's a little bit more, though. A little bit more. All sides. What else? Tess?
All interior angles.
All the interior angles congruent. And then finally, what else? One last thing here, Bailey. If all the interiors,
All the exterior.
exteriors will be equal, yes. Okay. So if you want to find one, you find the sum and divide by the number of sides. Okay. If you want to find one interior or one exterior, you take the sum and divide by the number of sides it has. So don't forget day one. I know everyone's parallelogram, but don't forget day one. All right, speaking of the parallelogram, look, I'm making it easy. Know your darn properties. If you don't know them, good luck. Put your name on the test, hand it back in. Okay, got to know your properties because there's a lot of algebra questions and the multiple choice deal with the properties as well. So here we go, 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. My 5 properties of a parallelogram. I got to know to have any shot at these algebra or multiple choice questions. One property, start us off, Jonathan, again. Opposite sides parallel. And let me stop right there. Because opposite sides are parallel, I want to remind you, if there is a diagonal drawn in a parallelogram, what type of angles do you now have? Alternate interior. Don't forget that. If a diagonal is drawn in a parallelogram, you have alternate interior angles available. Other properties that we have, other properties of a parallelogram. 2, Simon? We got 4 more here. Opposite angles congruent. All right, let's keep going. True. 12. Finley. Opposite sides are also congruent. 1, 9. Cormac, another one. They're darn right they do. And which means if I draw both diagonals in, what's that point of intersection? That's the midpoint. Yep. Might ask that tomorrow. Find where the diagonals intersect. And it can't be looked at a graph. I can't see it on a graph. Got to do it. So real quickly, again, I always have to give this to you, right? x1 plus x2 divided by 2. y1 plus y2 divided by 2. All right, midpoint formula. And one more about the angles I'm looking for. One more about the angles. Ones, Micaiah, one more. There you go. Consecutive angles are supplementary. They add to 180. Do we know what we mean by consecutive? 2 in a row, adjacent. All right. And finally, look, I'm trying to make you guys as successful as possible. There's only one proof on there, and it's going to be given a parallelogram, prove triangles are congruent. Okay, given a parallelogram, prove these two triangles are congruent. So you've got to know your properties and find three pairs of sides and angles. Anything here, I'll post this on Classroom while you guys are working. There's one other thing I want to go through in your packet, but anything here. All right, one thing I just want you to take a look at, and I'm just giving you a warning because I know it's coming up tomorrow and kids make the same mistake every darn year and it drives me nuts. Can you guys go to proof number 11 for me? I'm not doing a darn thing with it, but I don't want you to start it or anything. I just want you to answer a simple question. Looking at this, because it does say it's a parallelogram, is this true? Can I do this? Oh, these are equal. Those are equal by a property. Why are you shaking your head? No. Diagonals bisect each other. Somebody just told me that diagonals bisect each other. What's the problem, though? PQ is not a diagonal. Okay, so don't say they bisect each other unless it's both diagonal. And diagonals connect vertices. Diagonals connect vertices, not sides. So you cannot use that property in this proof that diagonals bisect each other. That is not true because PXQ is not a diagonal. All right? So just a heads up on that. Don't do it on this proof. If it comes up on tomorrow's proof, don't try it. Diagonals don't bisect each other unless they're actually diagonals connecting vertices. There are a couple problems I don't want you to do because I'm not testing you on it. Can you cross off 10A and B for me? Questions 10A and B. There's no factoring on this quiz, so I'm not going to have you practice it. And you can get rid of proof number 1, the first proof in the review, because I'm not going to have you prove a parallelogram. So let's focus our time today on what we're actually going to get quizzed on. There's no need to go to your Chromebook. The answer key is after the questions. Okay, so flip a couple pages forward, find the answers as you do them. Most of you, not all of you, most of you will probably get the review done. So if you go to page 22 for me, if that happens, go to page 22, the end of the review. Okay, go to page 22. So you do proof number 13, you check it, you're good. Textbook questions right at the bottom. Please get them. Okay, then you can get your Chromebook out and get the textbook page. All right, so if you do finish the review, we're not hanging out. We're not going to go to other classwork. We're going to get your Chromebook out and go to the textbook review as well. All right, call me over if you have any questions, please. All right, you can work together. That's fine. Or if you want to work with somebody else, that's fine.